Friggin' Friday, everybody. I got my guy in the house. Ohio runs boxing. Marcus Nall. How you doing, my guy?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty
thank
good.
you for coming on. I appreciate that. So, for those that don't know who you are, and I don't know who that could be, but there are a few, I'm sure. There might be two, there might be three. But for the two or three that don't know who you are, let them know. Because when people see Ohio runs boxing, I know you get a lot of backlash. So talk to us. Who are you? What you talking about?
Man, for people that don't know me, I'm Marcus. Ohio Runs Boxing. I'm a co-promoter, boxing journalist. I do a little bit of everything, miscellaneous behind boxing. Uh, I started Ohio Run Boxing probably about 13 or 14 years ago. And I wanted to focus on everything that's involved in boxing from Ohio. People think it's just fighters, but it's not just the fighters. It's the promoters from Don King, Al Heyman. We got clothes designers. Look at D Style.
Thank you,
Shout
D
out,
Style.
baby. Shout out. That's my guy. We got clothes designers, shoes designers. People don't even know. I forgot his name. It's not hit my name, but he did Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford's shoes from out of Toledo, Ohio, in their fight. So people didn't even know that. So but it's about just a unity about bringing everybody together from my state, and I hope to start a trend where everybody else start doing the same thing in their states because I have no problem with that.
And that's the thing. It's not about hate, it's about love. It's about
Mm-hmm.
loving where you come from and everybody that comes from where you come from.
Mm-hmm.
I think when we first met, I was teasing you like I'm sure everybody does.
Yes, yes,
Texas runs
yes.
boxing, blah blah blah. But I get it. I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I had a conversation today in the gym with our Olympian Morel McCain, Mo.
Yeah.
Um, and I said, Ohio runs boxing is going to be on the show tonight. She's like, oh my gosh, he's awesome. Like he's always there. He's supporting all the local shows and everything having
Mm-hmm.
to do with Ohio and boxing. So kudos to you. For
Mm-hmm.
people that don't know that, kudos to you. And people are seeing you and the love that you have. So kudos to you. For
That's good. That's one of our last Olympians. I hope we have another Olympics, but that's special to hear that from her because she's our last Olympian, man, right
No,
now. And
she's not. We're gonna be in LA.
what you mean? We still doing the Olympics?
We still going. We are still going.
Okay.
Rumors,
Thank
rumors.
God, because you
Look at
definitely are
all
the
these
person that
rumors.
that have the connections. Okay, because I was just
Yeah.
like, oh man.
No, we're
So
good. We're
so what
good.
started? What changed it then? What happened? Because I heard this thing. This was almost
Rumors. Rumors. Don't ever listen to rumors, man.
okay.
I'm just
Okay.
saying. I'm just saying. We got to get the facts.
Thank God.
But so whenever I asked you to come on, so I had done a live last Friday and it was fun. It was good. Like people were like, let's do it again.
Mhm.
So I mean, I thought about you. And when I had called you and said, "Hey, you want to do something on Friday?" and you said yes, I said, "What do you want to talk about?" And you want to talk about somebody that, are they saying that they're from Ohio? Are they in some, and are they in a situation? What was your reply to
Woo.
me?
uh Man, you know what's so funny? Uh I studied a little bit more, got a little bit on that research. We talking about Alycia, Miss Alycia Baumgardner. That's my girl, man. Been following her since the amateurs from the back. I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened. What made her start? First of all, before we get in the incident about the cheating scandal and about what she did, I don't know what happened when she started repping Detroit. And I remember Clarissa. I knew this was gonna come up because I knew it was gonna come up. I knew it was gonna come up when Clarissa and her was going back and forth. She was gonna say, "You're not from Detroit. You're not from Michigan." And
Yeah.
that was a devastating blow to her, and she really didn't realize it, but it was because her response was, "I've been here 7 years," and I'm like, uh, that don't mean you're from there. I
Right.
have no problem with we get fighters. Shout out to Jamel Herring. Jamel Herring is from
Absolutely.
Jamel Herring is from New York. but he's a heart. He's a Ohio in that heart. That man has put so much work in the
Mhm.
gyms in Cincinnati. Shout out to him, man. He do more than most of the Ohio guys that's from here, and that's just keeping it facts. And I remember people getting mad at me for putting him on the Ohio pound for pound list at the time. I had Jamel Herring at 5. Uh,
Hey,
but he has put a lot of work in Ohio. So, but he's originally from New York. So I don't have no problem with her doing that. My thing is let people know where you're from. You act like you are ashamed, and especially for me having a platform, that's all I talk about is where these guys are from. And it made it seem like I was lying on her when I
right.
already got posters from amateurs back for that girl when I was talking about Ohio run boxing. So you get people saying she's from Detroit. Why are you lying? I'm like, why do I gotta lie about where somebody is from? So
Yeah.
I just never understood that, which I'm going to talk to her eventually. I seen her in Las Vegas. We chopped it up, but I didn't want to. It was a bad timing to start asking her about it. But I don't know. I don't know if somebody did something to her in Ohio, or was she chasing the clout of Clarissa and trying to get this feel that I'm from Detroit and I want to take the throne from, Michigan, the throne from her. And maybe that was a strategy of hers because that's what it looked like she's trying to do now.
I mean,
So,
honestly, I have to give her props because her strategies, ever since she was, allegedly, knowingly putting things into her body, um, she has had a few strategies. So you know what? Whoever her, she has a great mind, or whoever's helping her, great mind.
mhm,
Kudos to them. I'm gonna give them props. But when you had mentioned that you wanted to talk about the situation, I want to make sure you were sure because I know you had been such a big supporter of her. And the thing that you said to me, and I love, was you said, what like what's right is right, and
mhm,
what's wrong is wrong. So I want to like kind of touch on that a little bit because
mhm,
the WBC had a statement out on January 15th,
mhm,
and it was wide it, as what this is what they said: as widely publicized, a sample collected on July 12th in the title defense against her and Christina, who had she had previously, her only loss is Christina,
mhm,
yielded an adverse analytical finding for a banned substance.
mhm,
They had their experts, their scientists, their nutritionists covering all the legal matters and investigating and analyzing all the facts and evidence. And they stated while there was sufficient evidence to
mhm,
support the validity of the anti-doping test that yielded the adverse findings, Miss Baumgardner defense put into question whether or not it was intentional or not intentional contact with what is it, mesterone. I don't know, but anyway,
mhm.
they found it. But the question is, was it intentional or unintentional? So when you hear a statement like that, what are you thinking?
I've I've never really read anything like that with the way they worded it. It was like you say you positive, but then you say she's not guilty, but then she get punished for being positive. So it's like she's still suspended. So I was really confused on that. I've never really seen that. And then you hear people, you can't get upset where you hear people say, see, it comes to favoritism with certain fighters.
Sure,
You
sure.
hear that. You hear this stuff. But me personally, when it comes to Alycia, uh, this is tough because I've known her and she's never been the type of person that has to take shortcuts. Her genetics, she's been like that since she was
Yeah,
young.
we've seen that. Absolutely.
So when I hear people talking about look at her arms and this, I'm like, no, it's far fetched. Two things can be true at the same time. I think but I'm being fair. When I hear people who test positive, I don't give them a benefit of the doubt. It's like we hear it most of the time where we hear them, they test positive. Luis Ortiz, I had to do my blood medicine, my blood pressure medicine. And they don't never fight as hard either to prove that they're innocent. So I got to give her a little credit that she has been pushing it. She didn't stay quiet behind it. She has been pushing it, but they did still say she popped. Now, here's
Yeah.
my thing. Have we had an athlete who actually took something on and didn't know? that they actually took something. I know Sugar Shane. Shout out to Yamin. He brought this up to my attention when Sugar Shane Mosley he sued Victor Conte. You know, he felt
Yeah.
like he took something he didn't know he was taking, and he trusted somebody. I actually do believe that can happen, but I don't want to come off as biased because it's an Ohioan who don't claim she's from Ohio. Let me
Right.
put that out there. Uh, who's saying the same thing that happened to her. I just have to keep the same energy. I do support her. I still do believe that there was some foul play. Uh, from me knowing her, I do think she could have took something she didn't know she was aware of, because she always talked about uh, being clean. And Clarissa said something very important in her Fight High interview I think it was a week ago, when she was talking about how she mentioned, the VADA testing to Alycia. And she said she didn't think Alycia would be on it, because when she mentioned that, Alycia went and did that the same,
Mhm.
like the next day or so. And that was like showing that she was really trying to represent clean. If she was dirty, she wouldn't have did that. So that was another thing too that a lot of people don't put into perspective. Now, but can she still be dirty? Yeah, I think that's what the test said. So we can't just have a blind eye to certain things. That's all I'm saying. Because
No, and the thing is, there's a lot of people that don't really know what goes on during the training or when you're under the eye.
mm-hmm,
I work with, the athletes up here in
mm-hmm,
Colorado, and they cannot, and they are told over and over and over again, do not even take an aspirin until you go and see what's on the list of the do's and don'ts that you can take,
mm-hmm.
because you can be suspended. It could be over, and you can pop dirty, you know so it's been pounded in their head since the amateurs. It's pounded in their head once they, especially once they win a title, like, or they're fighting for a title. It
Mm-hmm.
gets pounded. You don't just, somebody just can't come and like give you something and you're like, oh, okay. Who's naive like that?
Right.
I'm just saying.
No, that's
I'm just
no.
saying, let me give you a blue pill and say, oh, you got a headache, take this. And you're not going to say, oh, well, what is it?
Mm-hmm.
No, just take it. Just take this.
Mm-hmm.
Because why is my interest in you taking that blue pill more important than your interest?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not, I hate to like point fingers, but this is my life. This is my passion. I care about these boxers that are getting in the ring. I
Mm-hmm.
have boxers, I have amateurs, I have pros. I want them to have the most possible fair, unbiased playing field whenever they step into the ring as they possibly can. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? And we know that she has already lost to Christina. Christina is no chump.
No,
She
no, no.
wanted to come in there and fuck her up again. She just had a baby,
Mm-hmm.
you know. She's trying to get her body back. She's doing what she got to do, and I'm not saying nothing. I don't want to believe that someone knowingly did something they shouldn't have done. But I don't think Alycia is naive. I don't. The way
Mm-hmm.
she talks, the way she moves, she's not dumb. 3 days ago, she thanked the WBC for a fair and comprehensive investigation. They found Alycia not guilty of intentionally
There you go. That's the word.
ingesting or consuming a PED for performance purposes. Um, she said, I welcome and proudly submit to random testing during this probation period. Why are you on probation if you are innocent and someone
That's
set you up?
That's what I was saying. That's why I said it comes off confusing to me. And that's just being honest. It's like, I just didn't understand that. You still on probation. But I think this is the danger about that whole situation. It's opening up the doors for other people who can come and use these type of things. I mean, and we got to hold the sanctioning bodies responsible for this too, man. If it is, I mean, you remember they told Canelo he was suspended for 6 months when he takes 6 months off. I mean, that was like who are y'all playing? Who are y'all playing with right now? So
Exactly.
I definitely hope the sanctioning bodies for their, because they're bending the rules. And I tell people, y'all gotta stop using the sanctioning bodies as, whoa, this is the rules. They bend their own rules. They go
Of
against their
course,
own
because we
rules.
got to think about it. It's a business. First of all, BoxRec, go to BoxRec right now and put her name in there. She is suspended by the Association of Boxing Commission. It says indefinitely, but
Mm-hmm.
we know things are going to change. But that's what
Right.
it says right now.
Mm-hmm.
We also know Errol Spence put it out there for those that didn't know. They're paying 3% of their purses for these belts.
Mm-hmm.
So the sanctioning bodies, they strip her. Who's going to pay that money? Because they're going to have to wait, set up other fights, you know, get champions to get that 3%. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they did not strip her of her belts, but she is suspended. Does Christina not deserve a no contest, and then let's run it back again whenever she's
Mm-hmm.
more? Does she not deserve that?
Yep, yep. I think that's fair. That is really fair, because we had that happen to Fred Wilson. He's no longer boxing right now. He's undefeated. He lost to a guy, and they found out he was tested positive, and they ruled that a no contest. I wish they would have did that for my guy Wesley Tucker,
Yeah.
of Toledo, but they didn't do that because he fought the 147 guy. I think Pervexian or something like that. I forgot his name. He was undefeated from Russia, but they should have did that. I agree exactly what you're saying. But should have been no contest, and they just run it back. I don't think Alycia has a
Yeah.
problem. Plus
Let's
the
run it
women,
back.
yeah. Plus,
Let's run out that suspension and run it back. I want to read a comment right here. Nika Trap Media USA. This is crazy. If you drive trucks, whether you intentionally ingest THC or accidentally ate a brownie, you are not going to be able to drive anymore. Absolutely. I
yeah.
mean, I don't get it.
That
I
is that
really
is
don't.
that is a fact. That is definitely a fact. That's a great analogy breaking down.
Mhm.
That is a fact. That is uh no matter how we look at it, it still happened. That's my thing. It wasn't like where they said she's not guilty at all, and that was the thing. They're real. Whoever the PR with the WBC was good with the wording. See,
Absolutely.
wording is everything.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
We can turn words around. We can make them look like, feel like, taste like we want them to.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the magic of words. Slight tendencies, money talks and bullshit walks. Absolutely. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and that 12% undisputed plus taxes, managers, gym and coach and everything else. That's the thing. And I get it. I get it. Look,
Mm-hmm.
these are hard times. Everything has gone up. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
This is the bottom line. People die in the ring every day.
Right.
So do we have to wait until, God forbid, somebody that did not intentionally take anything kill somebody before we take a stand? Is that what we got to wait on?
And that's I've been saying the same thing you saying, Christine, for the longest when it comes to these fighters testing. Ohio has a reputation when it comes to deaths in the ring. We just had Charles Conwell, who experienced
Yeah.
that with not too long
Yeah.
ago. We had Ray Boo Boo Mancini,
Yeah.
who experienced that. We also had Anthony Taylor, who out of Youngstown fought a guy from Michigan. That happened probably about 7 to 8 years ago, and I think Page. He was from Louisville, heavyweight Page. He got actually his neck fell on the rope
Lord
against.
have mercy.
Yeah, his neck fell on the rope. So we have been in 4 different tragedies in the last probably 30 years. It's been crazy, when it comes to that. So that's very, very important. And I hate that. I think it's going to come down to when a person died in the ring and the fighter was dirty for them to actually change it, and that's BS because they have to be more strict. I mean, look at Big Baby. We forget.
Yeah.
I think we forget. We
We do
sometimes
forget.
we as humans we forget, and the moment you take your eyes off of them, you focus on boxing, and then y'all start wanting them back. That's why I be laughing at people when they say Canelo. They
Yeah.
say Canelo tested dirty, but yet y'all want Canelo to fight one of your favorite fighters.
Right.
But yet you say he's a dirty fighter. So
Right.
which one
It's true.
is it? You see what I'm
and,
saying?
and,
So
and, and see, and that's the thing, people don't humanize these boxers. They're not just there for your entertainment. They're
mm-hmm.
somebody's kid. They're somebody's grandkid,
Yep.
somebody's mom, dad, nephew, niece, aunt, uncle, you know, friend.
Mm-hmm.
They're human. This is the job that they decided to take. Yes, yes, they did, and it is life or death. It's their choice, but they're still humans. They're trying to pay their bills like we are. You
Yep.
know, they just chose something different. So the husband says she was able to prove that it was not on purpose. Good management company. Absolutely. Prove that it was not on purpose. Okay. But I don't believe somebody tied her down either and said, whatever. Um she knew something was something, and did she ask questions? And whoever that somebody was, why are they not being questioned? Why are they not up, you know, on trial? And
Right.
why is she not calling them out? Where'd it come from? What happened? What is it? What's the situation? I don't know.
Right. There's
Um
many questions. It's still unanswered. There's still a lot of unanswered questions still in this whole thing. And I definitely see your point where you're coming from that aspect. It's just it's too many questions because I mean, again, we have to be careful when it's one of our favorite fighters. And this is my rules. When a fighter tests dirty, I've always said this. I believe in second chances. I don't pick and choose when to say, "Oh, throw the fighter away" because I don't like him. When people don't
yeah,
like Canelo, they call him a cheat, and then when your favorite fighters do it, we trying to justify it. But I give them second chances. If I think you cheated one time, okay, sweep it in the rug. Let's try to get
right.
you back. But once it becomes a continuing thing, then I'm like, okay, I got to back away from you. You know what I mean? When
Absolutely.
you're Ortiz and you're doing it three times, and not even Ortiz did it three times too. Ortiz tested positive multiple times. Big Baby Miller, I was not happy to see him in the ring,
Yeah,
and you can tell he didn't even have his confidence because
I know.
he was
'Cause
used to using it.
he didn't have that mask. Yeah, he
He did
didn't
not
he
have the
didn't have that
mask.
shield on. Yeah.
He
ab-
just didn't feel like he was confident without it, and that's what
Absolutely.
happens when you're using it. You use that continuously, and that's unacceptable in the sport. I can't keep giving you a pass, but the question is, are they going to really crack down on these people that's testing positive? They have to 2-year suspension, something, so people can wake
Well,
up.
the thing is this. Are they only picking and choosing who they crack down on? I mean, if you're beautiful and you have this goddess body, and you talk sweet, honey runs from your lips, are you not guilty? And then you got
Right.
some other guy who's like, he all right, he's sweaty and whatever, but then you got this honeypot. So what is that what we're doing here?
They say looks get you away with a lot of stuff, man. They get away with them looks, man.
I mean, it's true though. It's true there, but it's not. But is it right?
Right.
You
Absolutely.
know that's the thing. That's the thing. So, Lou DiBella had put out a tweet about 4 days ago, and he's upset obviously because he does represent Christina. Um, yeah, pretty privilege exactly. Jade, Jade. And then Al the Pal, I do forgive her. She's pretty, huh? Um, I am Cam Words, One Love Christina, High Runs Boxing. So if she was not
Was
pretty,
good.
would she not be forgiven? Would we be like slanging mud? That's the
Yeah,
thing.
if she looked like Precious, she would have got suspended for 2 years.
They're like, you ain't never coming back. Give me those belts.
Look what they did
No.
to what's her name? They was trying to protect the manly chick. What's her name?
Oh yes. Oh yeah. The one who fought Franchon?
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
sounding like me. Like, what are y'all doing? And they tried
Right.
to protect her for a minute, but she faded. She never came back.
Never came back. Rightly so. But so Lou DiBella, who represents Christina, he tweeted 4 days ago. He said, "Not guilty of intentional ingestion. I can't. Fuck hashtag boxing. Let's stop making believe that there is any PED regulations in boxing. Nothing is consistent or enforced, rational or clean. Hashtag boxing is unclean." And I'm not just talking about PED testing. So, what are your thoughts on that?
He's
When,
he's. I mean, I like Lou. I like Lou. He
I
ain't
do too.
perfect, but I like Lou. He speaks his mind, man. Yes. You got to take a stand, and he cared about the fighters just like you. When you hand on hand with these fighters and got a good relationship with them, you're going to be passionate about it. You're going to have to speak out about it.
Absolutely.
We cannot sit here and just act like everything is good and okay with it, because you got fighters that you're trying to get back home. Especially Christine, you're a trainer. You in there, you right there with the buckets. They come right there and sit on that stool.
Absolutely.
Uh, you're going to be passionate about it. You're going to have a different aspect of it. By the outsiders is just looking in. They don't have a clue. They're just
No,
talking. You know what
absolutely.
I mean? I remember a journeyman out of Cincinnati. I remember him driving from Cincinnati to PA, and he had 11 losses. He got his wife in the car with his baby,
Mm,
and he's driving to make this fight. He was
I've
in a
heard these stories.
four
Yeah.
rounder, four rounder. He gets knocked out in the first round, but I had a good relationship with him, and that's just the appreciation. You see these guys that people don't have
No idea.
no idea what they go through on a daily
No.
basis. You know what I
They
mean?
going to get that check because they got the family in the car and they need to feed them that night.
Yep,
And they need to find a place to stay once they're done.
absolutely. And you get a different respect. That's why I tell people I don't use the word bums. I say it's different
At
levels of
all.
fighters. I've never used the word bums, maybe because the respect I got for fighters. I have no problem with them calling each other that. It's entertainment. They deserve to
Mhm.
say that. But for me personally, just me, I don't use that word bum. I don't say
Facts.
they bum. That's just me because of the
Same.
experience I have with the fighters.
No, absolutely.
Mhm.
Everybody has a story. People don't just wake up and say, you know what? I think I want to jump in the ring and get knocked out or like get get punched in the face. There's a reason. There's special people that can get in there because we can't all do it.
Hmm.
you know, and respect and kudos to them because they are there for our entertainment, but not only for our entertainment, they're there to pay their bills. They
Yep.
have families, they have lives. So
Hmm.
we need to respect them all. I get it. And so the one of the biggest disrespects to me is when somebody across the ring in the other corner feels like I don't know if I have the confidence to beat this person, so I might just accidentally ingest or let somebody give me something to make me a superhero because
Hmm.
I don't believe in myself and I don't believe in
That's
my team.
that's all that means. You don't believe in yourself. I mean, it's sad. It's sad when you think about it. One
It is
fighter,
sad.
and we can end it with this one. But one fighter I know that actually boldly said he took it and didn't care was Shannon Briggs. Shannon Briggs said he's seen so many fighters that was taking it that didn't get caught. He said he had to take it just to stay competing with some of these fighters. That's what he said. There's a lot of
So
fighters that never got caught.
you know what? So I've heard that a lot. From people on the inside, on the outside.
Hmm.
Everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing it. If you're not doing it, you're at a disadvantage.
Mm,
And to me,
that's
that's
crazy.
sad. That's where we're at now. You know.
Hmm.
Um So the Slip and Weed podcast said the testing in pro boxing is so inadequate that to get caught, it means you're not on your P's and Q's intentionally or not. These gray area statements from the sanctioning bodies don't help either. That is so true.
Mm,
The thing is, if and I don't know a lot about it, but I've heard, there's cycles.
hmm.
There's cycles. So for so many weeks or whatever, you know, they can detect it, but then by the time it's fight time, if they do it right, it's not there.
Hmm.
Um, so they have a lot of people have this down to a science.
Yeah.
They really do. Um, I will say that, I've had pros and I believe that the opponents possibly were doing something, but we couldn't prove it. But I will say, to my knowledge, my guys and girls, we have not because, like I said, that's somebody's kid
Hmm.
across the ring, somebody's grandkid, somebody's uncle, aunt, father, mother, and I could not live with myself knowing that I did something illegal and now they can't live another day.
Hmm.
Pers- You know.
Yeah.
Al the Pal said, I know a lot of people who pass drug tests on probation, but not the hair test. Yeah, butt piss test. Yeah,
Mhm.
and then Sipping Weed podcast said a lot of peds get out of your system within 72 hours. It's
Mm.
true. I don't know enough about them to know what they are,
Yeah,
but you
me
know
either.
what? This is the thing. So we'll move on after this, but Last thoughts, last comments from you on this subject.
Uh,
Everybody hit the like button.
yep. Just I believe in second chances, but you got to be unbiased when it comes to safety. You can't sit there and try to protect people just because you know them personally and certain things like that. You have to call it out. Do we have to have the same energy that we do with other people? No, not if we know them. I mean, I'll be more louder with a person I don't know than a person I do know,
Absolutely.
and be
Absolutely.
honest, I will talk to them behind closed door and rip them apart. Shout out to Prentice, Coach Prentice Brewer, one of the
Yes.
best up and
Realist.
coming coaches in the game.
Absolutely.
Uh, but yeah, yeah, you gotta stay consistent. And one thing about me, that's why I got a lot of love in Ohio because I try to stay consistent when it comes to that. I don't try to get
Sure.
them to be my best friend. I support from afar. I don't try to hang with a lot of people, but I show love at the end of the day because when you start speaking your opinion on things that might go against them, they ain't gonna like it. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna lose friends in this thing, but you gotta have integrity as a
Absolutely.
boxing journalist when you're covering this sport, and especially when you got relationship with fighters.
Yeah, and that's one of the main reasons why, I mean, I consider you a friend of mine because I mean, we met I guess a few years ago, but
Hmm.
just speaking to you and the things that you said, I was like, okay, he's got integrity, and I
Hmm.
teased you about Ohio runs boxing, and you took it like, oh, don't you believe Texas? Yeah, so I got it. It like I said, it's not hate, it's love. So I love it. I love it. So stand
Hmm.
up, Ohio. Um, so before we got on this serious subject, somebody had said, "Tell us about this hat." So talk to us about your hat.
The hat was first. I think everybody that knows that's a gamer. Mortal Kombat. Raiden was one of my favorite characters. Of course. But the hat came from a music artist that I actually like. Andre 3000 from Outkast. Andre was so unique in his own way when it came to dressing, and he stood out. I mean, he's in videos with
Yeah.
shoulder pads on. He looks like the Show Enough character. He did not look like he looked apart from everybody. So I loved Andre, and I love that. And Andre actually said something in the Hip Hop Source Awards years ago when he sat there and said, "The South got something to say," and he said the South got something to say, and it was the East Coast West Coast beef, but he came and he said the South got something to say. When Andre said that, the South start making so much noise. I'm talking about
Mhm.
T.I., I'm talking
Mhm.
about Ludacris. I mean, they start coming to South. We was getting all South music and we was enjoying it. But when Andre made that stand, that's what it was. And I actually symboled him. When I got this hat, I said Ohio Run Boxing. I said
Okay.
Ohio Run Boxing, and I said, we didn't. I felt like we didn't get enough recognition, and we didn't. A lot of us from our own state didn't realize how talented we was. But when I start pushing that, people start to pay attention, and people start to say, "Hey, he ain't. This Ohio Run Boxing stuff is really getting serious, bro." You starting to look at these fighters and say, "Dang, here go another one. Here go another one."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I put a lot of heat, and the numbers speak for itself. You know what I mean when it comes to that.
Absolutely.
So,
I
but that's
mean, you got my attention in Texas. I'm just saying. We had a lot of the past Olympians from Ohio, and we got one today.
Mhm.
For real.
Yeah,
So
they definitely become, and it's pressure. People don't understand when you start a brand like that. You're not going to get a lot of numbers or people just bearing in. They're going to tap in. A lot of people going to know who you are, but some of them ain't going to follow you because they're from a different city. Who do you think you are? Da 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 da.
yeah, that's
They're going
exactly what it starts out as. I think.
right. It's going
Yeah.
they're going to take it personal, but once they
Yeah.
start seeing, shout out to Rashidi Ellis, shout out to Michael
Yes.
Williams Jr. and his
Yeah.
father, Michael Williams Sr. People from different states that I rock. I got good relationship boxers and dad and trainers. They already know. They know I show love to them too. It's definitely, I got love for everybody, but we put a lot of pressure on I put a lot of pressure on Ohioans when I'm saying Ohio Run Boxing. The Mason brothers, they hit me up. They say everywhere they go, they say from Ohio. Everybody say Ohio Run Boxing. So it's
Yes.
definitely worldwide now, man, and that's dope. That's a really
It
really
really
dope.
is. It really is. You're doing amazing. I have
Mm-hmm.
so much respect for you. So tomorrow we have quite a scrap
Shout out.
between two amazing women.
Mm-hmm.
Jonas and Mayer. Talk to me about your thoughts on that fight.
Now I never seen Joan, but she is woo beautiful.
Oh, here we go.
Man,
Here we
look,
go. We
I just
going on the
like,
list.
man, she
She
is
is beautiful.
beautiful.
She is
I seen
beautiful.
her. Now
She
I
is
seen her, but
beautiful.
she is beautiful. But I never really paid too much attention to her fight. Definitely I'm going for Meyer. That's my girl too. Just not against Alycia, but I gotta say it. Just not against Alycia, but no, I like Meyer in this fight, but I hate going to. This is the same type of fight with the beautiful Gabrielle against Clarissa.
Oh, that's my girl. That's my
Yeah,
sister.
and I was like, Clarissa, you better
Hannah
not hurt
Gabriels.
her.
That's my sister. I
Hannah
love her.
Gabriel, there you go. Hannah Gabriel. I said,
Yes.
you bet not hurt her, Clarissa, please.
Well,
But she ended up dropping Clarissa,
Clarissa got
in the
dropped.
fight.
She's
She's a
no
good
chump.
fight.
And a fun fact. I mean, Hannah only had one amateur fight in her whole life. I'm just
Mm,
saying. I'm just saying.
yeah. And she should have fought her at the Caesar Palace in Detroit.
Absolutely.
Everybody wanted to see that rematch. You
Yes,
know what I'm saying?
absolutely. Absolutely. But she had a similar situation. And actually she was found not guilty. She had a dog that was sick, and she had, medication she was putting on the dog, and it was on her hand and all that stuff. And then,
Oh man.
so yeah. So, I mean, stuff does happen. It
Yeah.
does. It does. Um,
But
but
I'm picking Meyer in that fight. I definitely picking
yeah,
Meyer. I hope it's a good fight. I mean, the
I
women
think it will be.
they got to have good performances too to get people more interest too. So I definitely want to see a real good fight with them. I think shout out to Jake Paul who's from Ohio. We broke
Yeah.
records. We broke records when it came to women boxing. That's
Yeah.
another statistic in the game. Uh, he helped put the spotlight on women boxing. Eddie Hearn had the power to do it, but he didn't make the fights that we wanted to see in the female boxing. And then when Jake came in, he put a lot of pressure. I personally believe Jake put a lot of pressure on these fights to get made. That's just me, because
Absolutely.
they was just like whatever. But yeah, but shout out. I definitely got Meyer in that fight though. Did you?
I want to rewind in a minute to Jake Paul thing.
Mm-hmm.
Prentice says, Coach says, Michaela the homie, I love her to death. One of my friends, but she doesn't look like she got that fire in her eyes and energy. She had prior to her loss, but I still think she should get the dub. So I kind of disagree, because I believe that loss really did something to her.
Mm,
And that's when she said, you know what? This is not even my weight class. Like, I'm killing myself. Like, I
mm,
need to let my body go a little bit. She looks very muscular, and she's already strong. I know she doesn't have, as many knockouts as some people think she should have or whatever, but she is
mm-hmm.
strong. She's fast. She has a great amateur background. The
Yes.
only thing that I'm worried about a little bit is that we're in Jonas's backyard. But
Mm-hmm.
Michaela has a bunch of fans over there. She's been there several times. They love her. So it's going to be very interesting. I really believe that Michaela's going to pull it out, and that's what I'm hoping on. But I kind of want to rewind just a little bit to Jake Paul,
Mm-hmm.
because USA Boxing had announced a couple of months ago that Jake Paul was going to be coming to USA Boxing. So people didn't read the article. They didn't read what was going on. They thought, oh, he's going to take somebody's spot. He's going to go to the Olympics, whatever. No,
Really?
honey. No, honey. What he's doing is he's giving back. He's giving back to the program. Like Richard Torres. Richard Torres, ever since he won the silver in the Olympics, he's here now. He's
Mm-hmm.
right here in camp today. He comes back. He helps the heavies and the super, and he talks and motivates these young athletes. Like, you know what? Before they got qualified, we're going to the Pan American Games to get qualified. This is what you need to do. This is your mindset. This is where you need to be. And now we've got some other ones. We had test matches to see who's going to fill in the spots that we don't have. And we're about to go to Italy to get more, because we need 8 more qualified. We already have 5. And he is there motivating them and leading them. And to me, that's what needs to happen. So that's what Jake Paul's going to do. He's going
Mm-hmm.
to come back. He's going to motivate. He has a platform. He has everything behind him, and he's going to help these kids get to where they need to be. Kudos and respect to him. And yes, he brought women's boxing back up with Amanda and everybody else he's dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Kudos to him.
Yeah,
Seriously, kudos
yeah,
to him.
and it's so funny. People was trying to shit on Jake when he first came in. I told people to look at the bigger picture, and it's sad that it take a guy like Jake who didn't box his whole career to come
Yeah.
back and give examples. I was telling people from Ohio, and a lot of these Ohio fighters who was shitting on him. I said, y'all, if this man get on the big stage, he's going to come back and fight in his hometown. He's going to need some Ohio fighters on that undercard. So
Absolutely.
y'all got to look at the bigger picture.
Absolutely.
He got the big he's got the big following. No, he didn't put in the work you did, but you gotta be patient and open and show support because you never know what door open.
And I
Look,
believe he's doing it now. I mean, I have talked to coaches and boxers that have said, you know what? He's in the gym. He's doing what
mhm,
he needs to do now. He understands. So he could have like, this is a fun little toy, fun little hobby. Let me move on to something else because we've seen him do other things previously.
mhm,
But now I believe that I haven't talked to him yet. I plan to
mhm,
when he comes, but now that he's in it and he's actually working out and the sweat, the blood, the tears, he's like, you know what? Okay, I see. Now I see. My eyes are wide open. That's
mhm.
my thought.
No, I think it's genuine. That's my thing. He's being an example. I was telling guys, he got Montana signed to the zone with Matron
Mhm.
for fighting on his undercard, and then Montana passed it down with Thomas Matisse, and the doors was opening there for a lot of guys. That's how the domino effect was. But I
Absolutely.
was actually telling Kenny Porter this when Sean Porter fought Earl Spence, and it was a moral victory because people thought Earl was just gonna walk over Sean. His status went up. I told Kenny, bring Sean back to Ohio, bring him to Akron or Cleveland. People will support him. We haven't had that many fighters come back home since Broner and really
Yeah.
put on the show.
Yeah.
Nobody was doing it. Robert Easter was down. Broner
Yeah.
losing. Here come Jake Paul. Jake Paul
Yeah.
and people, and then you got people say, "Oh, he ain't from Ohio. He ain't from my neck of the woods." I said, "He's from Ohio," and y'all got to get behind him. You just got to see the bigger picture. So I'm proud of him, man. I'm definitely proud of him. I'm always rooting for him.
Same.
He gave me a shout out. Shoot, he gave me 1,000 subscribers within 5 minutes. All he did
I
was
love it.
he commented and said he bleed Ohio, and then he posts my story of a picture of him on his story. I've never seen nothing like that. He got 500 likes so fast, and then I started getting subscribers just because he did that. So shout out
That's
to Jake, man.
beautiful.
Shout out to Jake.
Yeah, shout out to him. You know what? I'm really looking forward to him coming up here to the training center.
Mm-hmm.
After we get back from Italy, I think that's when he's coming. So I'm looking forward to it. Like I want to meet him. Like I love what he's doing. I
You
really do.
excited? That's good. He coming there to work with the kids, and we need to see more fighters just do that, man. That's one of the reasons why we haven't been medaling. The last team was great. I think we medaled. That's one of the best
Absolute
teams we didn't have in a while. And the people that follow Olympics, not the people
facts.
that just look and just come. We talking about that really follow because they're
Facts.
facing experienced fighters that's damn near 26, 27 years old, overseas.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
they think it's just easy just to go and get these darn medals. They're not. That's why
They
this
don't
team,
understand what they have to go through. Like
nope.
first you have to go the local level. Then you have to go state level, then national level. Then you come up here and then you start fighting people from all over the world. Like
Mm-hmm.
all these huge world tournaments, they don't understand. And
Mm-hmm.
like you said, some of these guys that and girls that they're fighting, they've been to the Olympics. They've been
Mm-hmm.
they're in their late 20s, 30s, almost 40s. They've been to the Olympics sometimes 2 and 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And so to medal in the Olympics is freaking huge.
Yes,
Absolutely
definitely.
huge.
It was. Shout out to O'Shea and my boy Duke. The two
Yes,
Ohioans. We had three, but we got two medals brought back, and I was
absolutely.
proud of them. I
Absolutely.
definitely proud of them, and just the whole team, all of them that brought back medals. Keyshawn, a lot of
Yes,
them, man. So just shout out to them. That team, and you was part of that too, man. So shout out to
yes.
you.
It was a beautiful thing. And I will say, like, so the last squad, you know, um, was going through COVID.
Yep.
People don't understand. So it was hard enough going through everything that they went through and then going to the Olympics. But I don't say we, because I mean they had it hard, but we were
Right.
going through COVID and it was crazy. Like we could all write a book.
Mm-hmm.
So they had it harder than, I'm sorry, not sorry, any Olympian in history, in my opinion,
Yeah, that's
because
tough.
that was no joke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was tough. It
No,
was definitely tough. It was definitely tough. But
absolutely, the mental, the spiritual, the emotional, having to keep going. It was crazy. Away from our families, away from their families, in quarantine,
see,
one-on-one training. People don't even know.
yep.
They have no idea. So
He said
kudos
that.
to those athletes.
Mm-hmm. Said
They did it.
Zeke Manzo. Shout out,
Yes,
man. Said definitely Olympic wins is underrated in boxing. Yes, it's very
absolutely.
underrated. Very underrated.
Very underrated, and that's
Very.
very sad. And the thing about it is too is I want people don't even know right now who the five that qualified to go to the Olympics. They don't even know previously who was on Team USA.
Yep.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
but then they get signed, they get on the big stage, and people are like, "Who are they? What have they done?"
Yep.
Well,
They
we
try
we
to
kind of need to start from the amateurs.
absolutely. They try to shit on them, and I tell them like, "Well, they're Olympian. Well, that doesn't mean nothing. Well, you don't know boxing because
At all.
you are the best at your weight class in the country when you are an Olympian. So
Yeah.
don't downplay that." And I tried to educate people on that when Terrence Crawford beat 8 of them, including Earl Spence. He beat 8 of them.
And Aerospace, no chump, honey.
No, that's
He's
what I
been
said.
through it.
These guys ain't just handling, just getting handed wins in the amateurs. They earn that. I mean, look how far Earl got before he lost.
Absolutely.
So you gotta give these guys credit when it comes to that. Now, one thing I want to ask you about the Broner and Devin Haney thing. Did you see that going on?
The thing is, I believe that because of Broner's personality,
Mm-hmm.
and what he's done in the past, I believe that people would pay for that fight.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Haney has totally made me a full-fledged believer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought he was good. I thought he had skill. Um, but the performance that I saw with Regis and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, okay. Because I know who Regis is. I mean, he's not from Texas, but he lives in Texas. He's strong.
Right.
I've had guys that have fought him. He's strong, he's tough, he's rugged. But Haney, he did something to him. He dismantled him.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm just like, you know what? Haney, he's the man. He
He's
really is.
true,
But you
man.
know what? So Crystal says no quiero Broner and Haney. But you know what? I would watch it. And I
Mm-hmm.
kind of feel, you know what? And this is the mom in me. I kind of feel bad for Broner. Like, even though he is his own worst enemy, I feel bad for him.
Yeah, no,
Sometimes we don't want to be bad. We just can't help it.
No, I definitely understand that. I do for Brad. I think I didn't feel bad for Broner until I see his last fight when he came
Yeah.
out the ring entrance. It was a small arena, and by the time he came out the back curtains, he was already in the ring.
Yeah.
That's when it hit me. I was
Yeah.
like, "Whoa!" The promotion. You go from
Right.
Showtime in these big venues to you coming out the back curtain on Don King app,
Yes.
$29.99. And by the time you come out the cage, you ain't even your ring entrance music can't even go on long enough because you already in the ring. That
And
hit me.
and thinking about it, it's like even though he doesn't speak humility, to be able to do that,
He
you gotta
ham.
have some humility. You know
It's
what I'm
good,
saying?
Terrence. You got to, and I think he's an example. Fighters got to pay attention to other fighters. Broner is a great example. He did a lot of things in the sport. He could have did more. Don't get me wrong, but he made millions of dollars. So I hate saying when people say he wasted talent. He made over
No,
$30
and I remember him.
dollars.
He was bad ass.
hmm he made over $30 million. So he did make a lot of money in the sport. He just didn't manage it well. So I think with this fight, like you're saying, I think it's a good fight for Devin,
Absolutely.
For Broner to pass the torch. Yeah, I'm gonna be rooting for
Absolutely.
Broner, but it's a good fight to sit back and just look at because Devin
I
is Yeah, Devin is definitely the heavy favorite, but he needs a little bit of status. I think Broner
I
is.
agree with you.
I think Broner is Devin's Romero, if that's
Yeah.
fair. You get
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Right
I
now,
get what
his
you're saying.
age, Romero, both he boasted it up with Tank. He got the ratings. He got people to tune in because he was talking a lot of junk, and we was excited. We knew that Tank was gonna win, but we was still interested in wanting to see the fight, and that's pretty
Absolutely.
much what you got to do. I actually said before this fight was called, people call me crazy. I said Boots Ennis need to try to get a Broner fight because he needed something. He need a spark. He got a belt, but he can't get
With
the
you on
fight.
that.
You see what I'm saying? So I think
With you on that. Yeah,
so.
well, he
People
got
was
it in the mail.
Yep, people was calling me crazy, but I said he need a Broner. Broner, if
I
you gonna
agree.
pay Broner the money, I don't think Broner have a problem because he's
I
trying to get
agree.
a bag. So,
And I'm hoping Broner has some better people around him where they could be like, you know what, let's invest this. Let's do this. Let's save this. You know,
mm-hmm,
because you can have it one day and not have it the next, as we know. It happens many times because we don't have the right people around us.
mm-hmm.
Um, so before we go, who can Crawford fight right now?
I like Tim.
It
I,
would be satisfying.
yeah, satisfying is to stay at 154 for me. You know, I
Okay.
love Crawford, but don't sacrifice him to go to 168 and fight for his first time against Canelo. To me personally, I think it's suicide. I know you got personal relationship with Crawford. I've been rocking with Crawford for years, but when it comes to Ohio, he know what it is. Me and Bomac was at each other's neck when Sean was, uh, you know what I'm saying? When Sean was in there, that they know me, so you know it is what it is. But
And speaking of that, congratulations to Bomac, Coach Red, and Isaul because they're winning like awards left and
yes, they
right.
deserve it, man.
Finally, and they
Yes,
deserve it.
yes, give
They
them.
fucking deserve it.
Yeah, they definitely do deserve it. Give them their credit. But yeah, I don't like I think he's way more skilled than Canelo. I don't like the fight, but Canelo is now talking about Jamal, which is smart. But I just don't like a fighter of Crawford's, magnitude where he didn't got to. He worked hard to get to that spot, and now go up 3 weight classes to fight.
But so who's gonna get your
No.
juices flowing? Like who do you want to see him face right now?
I think his accomplishments gonna get my juices flowing if he beat
Okay.
Tim and then go after the one with the 3 belts.
And a lot of people are real. You know what? And all due respect to Tim, like he is very talented. But a
Yep.
lot of people are really like hung up and be like, Tim can beat him. I personally don't believe that.
No. I think Tim is going to be outclassed. It's going to show how great Crawford really is. He needs some doubters,
Absolutely.
but it's just going to show how great he really is because Tim has been looking good. I'm a
He
strong.
does look good.
I've been strong on not defending undisputed because I feel like guys that come out of nowhere and get mandatories that can fight for undisputed, they haven't earned it. So I think when you become undisputed, drop them darn things and go somewhere else. But Tim, when it was coming to Jamel Charlo, when it came to Jamel and him, Tim has been fighting. He's been active. He's been beating
Yeah.
decent opponents. Uh,
Yeah.
Tony Harrison. I mean, we thought Tony was gonna get with him a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. I thought Tony
Yeah.
was gonna be able to boxing,
Yeah.
but he has proven to me that he's definitely up there with the elites. So
Agree.
I'm definitely gonna give him a lot of credit. So Terrence ain't just fighting no walkover. So I definitely want to
No,
say
at
that.
all.
But we just think he's a special. I just think Terrence is special. So I think Tim, and then you got to go with Jamel, and then go off into the sunset. I want Crawford on a horse going to the lake and going
Yeah.
right to the fish. That's what I
Yeah.
want. That's what I want.
Yeah.
That's my thing. You know what I mean? So
Well, whenever you say horse, I think you're thinking about Spence, but I don't know because like Spence has a ranch. I don't know. Maybe Terrence gonna get a ranch. I don't
oh
know.
yeah,
Maybe.
you're right. You're right. But I'm just saying, going off the sunset. I've always
I'm
thought about
teasing
when a
you.
person you silly because that boy he got some injuries to work on. I ain't talking about Spence right now. That man, that's my
You,
dude
you know
though.
what? And let me tell you that I'm gonna say this. And like I don't want it to happen, but I care more about like the person. If Bud tomorrow says, you know what, I'm done, I'd be okay with that.
Me too. You
He's,
know
he's
what? I still think he should get a fight at 154, but I would be okay with it because I think Earl he has sabotaged the rematch to the point if Crawford win, no one's gonna give him credit. They already talking about the car accident. They already talking about
they
they they
right.
they talking about Blu-ray. You
Never
need
have
to
given him credit ever.
right. Like I said, they're not gonna give that man credit. That's why I don't want to see the rematch personally. So I
Yeah,
think
I don't want to see it because I love Spence too. I love him. I
hmm
love both of them. I've known Earl EJ a lot longer, and I
Mhm.
do not want to see him dismantled again. I don't. That hurts me. Like I could barely watch it the first time, and I was there. I could barely watch it.
Me too. It was sad.
I
It
know.
went from to the round five. I was like, dang, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I pay
Just
so much
throw the
money.
towel in, man.
Yeah, throw the towel in. So
Throw the towel in. Yeah.
before we get off here, I want to address this. I want to call the
Yes.
cap for Tank Davis. Stop the cap, Tank. You got mad at Sean Porter for saying exactly the same thing I said. Because when we seen Devin Haney in the ring with Regis Prograde, this is what I said, Christine.
Okay.
I seen how big Devin was. I told my friends, shout out to Alex and Yamin. I told these guys, I said, Tank team is not, if they're looking at it like I'm looking at it from a promoter standpoint, they're not fighting Devin. Devin rehydrated to 165.
Devin looked good. He
He
did look
was
good.
big. He was stronger. There
Yeah.
wasn't nobody talking about his pop. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And
Yeah, they didn't think he had any pop.
I said Tank and them is not taking that fight. And when I see Sean Porter, thank God when I see guys that give me confirmation that's been in the ring and experience to say the same exact thing I say. It brings joy to me because Sean said exactly the same thing. They're going to try to weight drain Devin. He's not taking the rehydration clauses, so that's out the door. They see how big he gets. They're not going to fight him at once. So Tank, instead of him addressing what Sean said, he talked about a sparring that I beat up on Sean and I did this, and I'm like,
That's a
wait a minute.
long time. Sparring is not fights.
But this is my thing.
That's
This
a
is
long
my
time.
thing. Sean, I talked to Kenny Porter right when the sparring was over, so I knew it was cap. But my thing is, if Sean beats you down in sparring, what do Sean get out of it? You're the smaller guy. You're going to get more props talking about what you did in the sparring than anything. It's almost like the Clarissa Shields situation. That sparring
Right.
tape didn't get leaked out till 5 years later because men, we don't brag about being a stronger, dominant fighter. So,
Right.
we don't do that. So I don't think Sean Porter, he showed none but respect. He talked about the sparring game work. We let Tank get his confidence up. Now he thinking that he can just run through Sean. So if that's the case, which we know that wasn't, then fight
Right.
Devin. You just put yourself in a trap. You said you
That's
did
true.
all this to Sean Porter in sparring, then fight Devin, who's going to be the bigger guy that night.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
So
No,
that's
I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you. Um, I want to give a shout out to our chat. We have the best chat. Like I love y'all. Y'all are amazing. Shout out to my girl Nika for running the the comments. Shout out to
yeah.
my girl Crystal. You can catch us every Wednesday. D Style and I every Monday. And on Fridays, this is new. This is new. I had a Friday last Friday and with O'Hara Sports and you this
Okay.
Friday, and you know what? We're gonna keep it going. It's fun. I love it. I need something to do.
All right.
But last words, where can people find you? How can they subscribe?
Y'all can
What is it?
y'all can find, he said comeback Porter with a comeback versus Tank. Yeah, that'd be funny. Yeah, nah. But no, y'all can find me on Instagram, TikTok. I just started back Twitter, so I'm still getting the shout out to Christine because it was her. So everything that happened on Twitter I'm giving her credit for everything. You know what I mean? So
Oh,
she bringing me back to I'm still trying to catch up
awesome.
on the. But you find me on Instagram. I'm about to open up another Facebook account, and that one, the last one I had was closed. It closed down, so y'all going from Marcus Nall under that's gonna be my name under there. So y'all find me on that. But yeah, that's where you'll find me at. But y'all already know it's nothing but love. But it's Ohio runs boxing till I die, and I'm gonna use data statistics to back that thing up.
He's got him, y'all. Don't challenge him. I'm saying. No, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming on. I got nothing but love for you, respect for you.
Yep.
And I appreciate everything that you do. I really do. And thank you for coming on tonight. It's been fun. It's been great.
Yep.
So everybody have a good night. Love to love you. And see you on Monday. I will be on with Box Topics with D Style Boxing.
All right. Peace. We out, boxing family.